All right, let's talk about Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk. That's right. William Shatner becomes the oldest man to go to space. Some might argue he was not in orbit. He wasn't in space. He was technically in low suborbit. Okay, whatever. Okay, semantics. I'm not going to argue semantics or not. The dude went to space. Oldest man to do so. He's 90. 90. Dude, this guy is 90. Look at this. This is their new uniforms. Hilarious. Of course, he gets his captain colors, and then they were wearing red shirts, which I don't know if for those who know Star Trek at all, but the red shirts are always the one that kind of got killed on the excursions when they went out and did their thing, which was explore. But this is William Shatner cried, telling Jeff Bezos about his flight to space. And he says, "I hope I never recover from this." Now, on first glance, you're like, okay, well, what does that mean? You know, that sounds rather negative. But then when you get into, I'm going to read his quotes too, because it's really something that's incredible, something that happens that I will love to experience when I do. I cannot wait. And I will one day. I'll go to space. I will be in space one day. I'm going to do it. We are witnessing the shift into space. It's amazing. Here's the quote from him. What you have given me is the most profound experience. I am so filled with emotion about what just happened. It's extraordinary, Shatner, tearing up, said. I hope I never recover from this. I hope that I can maintain what I feel now. I don't want to lose it. It's so much larger than me and life. It hasn't got anything to do with the little green men. It has to do with the enormity and the quickness and suddenness of life and death. Now he continues, I'm going to read it. But he's 90. The dude's old. You know, people can live to 100, 110. I mean, that's getting up there, but you know, he's had a long life. 90 years old. That's up there. Look at this guy. He looks like he's 75, 80. I mean, you know, not 90, right? He looks really good for his age. Like, look at this guy. Dude's looking good. You know, he's got some time left. You know, he's looking great. But, you know, he's recognizing that, you know, he's probably thought about death. You know, everyone dies. I've sadly seen a lot of death in my life. People close to me, friends, and my grandparents. Luckily, I have one still with me. Shout out to my Mormor. And if you do have them in your life, you're blessed. And call them and talk to them and hang out with them while you still can. Shatner said he was stunned by the thin line of Earth's atmosphere. At one point during his post-flight reflection, he covered his face and wiped away tears. Look at the beauty of that color. And it's so thin. And you're through it in an instant, he said. Suddenly, you're through the blue and you're into black. You're looking into blackness, into black ugliness. And you look down and there's the blue down there and the black up there. There is Mother Earth and comfort. And then is there death? I don't know. Is that death? Is that the way death is? It was so moving, this experience. At age 90, he is now the oldest person to fly to space. And he continues here. He says, I can't even begin to express. What I would love to do is to communicate as much as possible the jeopardy. The moment you see the vulnerability of everything, it's so small. The air which is keeping us alive is thinner than your skin. It's a sliver. It's immeasurably small. When you think in terms of the universe, it's negligible. This air. Mars doesn't have it, he said. It's so thin. To dirty it. I mean, it's a whole nother... Of course, Bezos cuts him off. I'm sure Robert Shaw is in there saying F Bezos somewhere. And he says, you're in death. This is life and that's death. And in an instant, you go, oh, that's death. That's what I saw. You know, he reminds us that it's not just about space. It's about life in general. You know, life is too short to forget how grateful we should be, how spoiled we're spoiled. I'm spoiled. I'll admit it. I'm spoiled. I can sleep under a roof. I have air conditioning that keeps my climate comfortable where I live. I can go to the store and get food that I need. I don't have to grow it myself. I don't have to worry about finding fresh water, because I can go to my sink and pour myself a glass and it's delicious. People would have to walk for people still do today. I was in South Africa a couple years ago, and I was out in the countryside, and I saw communities that shared a well that people would have to walk and to get water and bring it back to the little hut that they lived in. You know, these places exist. They would be amazed to have a faucet that you just turn on and get fresh water. You know, we're these people that focus on these microaggressions and being angry at words that other people say. They don't understand what a macro danger is in life. You know, worried about, most human beings in the history of humanity had to worry about making sure they had food to eat, had shelter to survive the weather, and other humans that were going to take their stuff. Right? Those were like the number one things. And if you didn't have that taken care of, you were screwed. We've eliminated that in mostly on the planet. Right? We live in this civilization where we don't have to worry about growing our own food. And we're so spoiled. And that's all I can think about when he's talking about what's out there and how we need to cherish this planet. Look, I love this planet, and I want to conserve it as much as possible. I don't want to dig up fossil fuels. I don't want to dig up rare earth minerals either to switch to batteries, because it's not better. It's just different. It's something else. We need to come up with something better where we don't have to dig up anything. You know, maybe like what Tesla was trying to design, which he studied the pyramids about using the natural energy that Earth emits, like the Telluric current, which is something that he learned how to harness. Like, why aren't we going there? I like nuclear energy. I think that's a step in the right direction, right? Why aren't we doing that? Why? Because it lasts longer and it's hard to charge people. They can sell people batteries. They can sell people gas. Batteries will die. They got to be replaced. They could sell them more batteries. We need to figure out the next stage of trying to have perpetual motion and perpetual engines that maybe not last forever, but don't use an ignition source or a fuel source. And then we'll be able to travel the world or travel the stars. Life is so fragile, right? These people are taking so much at heart that they shouldn't, and ignoring all the things that they have. And that's really sad. It saddens me. It really is saddening to me to see this, and the people that take life for granted. Don't take life for granted. It's really sad when you know, one day it's gonna end, and you know, enjoy life when you can, right? Enjoy the people that you have around you. Yeah. So congratulations, William. I'm gonna give you a little send off. If you guys haven't seen this, you're welcome.
Packed my bags last night, pre-flight. 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high. As a kite by then. Miss the earth so much. I miss my wife.
All right, I don't actually know if I can play this for you guys. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble or not. Because it's not the original song, but please go. He's good, like that. He does it so well. Like he's talking to himself. He's reflecting while smoking his cigarette. Well, he is officially a rocket man. He has gone to space, and I'm pretty happy about him.